Leeds.
Come on, everyone, do it with me. We do love you, Leeds, Leeds, Leeds. Come on. Still reeling from last night, mate. Oh, my word. Still reeling from last night. And I've just seen Plymouth are 4 up against Millwall. What a moment to be alive. Come on, Leeds. Buzzing. Buzzing. I'm sure everyone in chat's still happy, still made up after last night. Yeah, it's gonna take something big to get me off this. Honestly, I just feel so good at the minute about Leeds United. I'm absolutely buzzing. I was in WhatsApp group earlier with Late Night Leeds lads, Sean and Adam, and I was saying maybe some crazy stuff. Like, I can't remember the last time I felt this comfortable as a Leeds fan. Even Marcelo Bielsa's times, don't think it was nowhere near as comfortable as this. First season when we didn't go up, we were nervous all season because it was new to us. We missed out. Second season, thought it was going to be the same as first season, COVID it. It still didn't feel as comfortable and as easy and maybe as good as this, to be fair. First year in Premier League, unbelievable. Pinching ourselves, we were there. Football were brilliant. But what it is, comfortable as it is now, I can't remember a more comfortable period of time I've had as a Leeds fan. Not saying it's the best. Not saying it's the most joyous, not yet. But in terms of how I feel as a Leeds fan, the comfort I'm taking from the performances, how stressed I feel during games, 0 currently, which I want to feel a little bit of stress. You all know that. I want to feel a little bit of jeopardy. It's a really surreal feeling at the minute being a Leeds fan. It's really, really comfortable, really, really good on the eye. And I'm enjoying every second of it. And like we used to say under Bielsa, we need to enjoy it. I mean, when we go up, we ain't going to be winning most weeks. We ain't going to be scoring 7s, 4s, clean sheet after clean sheet after. That ain't going to happen in Premier League. So we need to enjoy it while we're getting it now, because hopefully this is the last time we're in this godforsaken league, and then we've really got to try and consolidate in Premier League, which could be a bit of a slog. So we really need to enjoy these moments. I mean, we are playing some fantastic football. I've watched the highlights back 3 or 4 times today, and the goals, the way the boys are playing, that side's just phenomenal at this level. Absolutely phenomenal at this level. Dan James, I love him. What a guy. What a humble, beautiful man he is. Honestly, I'm so happy. But yeah, this is your Watford V Leeds review. Watch along yesterday went really well. Thanks for everyone that tuned into my watch along. Really pleased with how that went. So you all sort of know my thoughts anyway. And if you've seen my goal reactions, you know I am one happy chappy. But I had to come on. I had to have an hour tonight just having a general chinwag about all things Leeds. Because I just can't shut up talking about them at a minute. So I need a vessel to get my emotions out. And this is my vessel. Danny is in the house. Smash a like and subscribe. Yes, please stick a like on the video. Please subscribe if you're new here. A very sharp Lee. So Stevie says, big result against Watford. Why hasn't Farker done this all season? When he came out and said we don't want to embarrass clubs, he got it badly wrong. We want the 7-0 or 4-0s. And to be fair, like Danny says, I'll take the scrappy 1-0 over a 4 or 7. It's still 3 points. So we'll take any kind of 3 points as it comes. We're just seeing now what the lads can do when they string a 90-minute performance together. That's what we're seeing now. I don't like to leave too much blame at Farker's door for not being able to put 4s, 5s, 6s past teams consistently all season. It is difficult to do that on a regular basis. We've seen glimpses, Stevie. We've seen glimpses, and now we've just seen it all come together at the right time. It's all about momentum. It's all about peaking at the right moments. I don't want us to be putting 7s past teams, 5, 6, 7 weeks into the season. It's all about timing it perfectly, and we've steadily built, and you've seen how good we are in spells. And like I say, now you're seeing it in a more consistent performance of, longer. We've done it in 20 minutes, 15 minutes, half an hour spells in games. Now you're seeing it for, almost a 90-minute performance, if not a 90-minute performance. And the boys' confidence, and it comes from everything. We had big injuries early in season. We've only really got Ampadu and Grove back in this last, 6 weeks. Giving Ampadu back really helped our away form, and now you're seeing what Gruev can do as well, and he's slotted back in and arguably doing it even better maybe than Ampadu. So yeah, I'm buzzing. Sorry for the lateness. I was only 2 minutes late, mate. This foundation's a bugger to get on, mate. Gavin James, evening, my good friend. I am doing okay. I'm doing really well. Say work sucks ass at the minute, but other than that, I'm doing all right, mate. Doing all right. Hey up, son. Love you, mate. I'm doing okay, thank you. Well, you've had a good day. At school, thanks for upping in, my mate. Mackham's up. Yeah, I fancy Borough to win 1-2. Yeah, I'm just looking at scores now. I'm so happy with that Plymouth game. Plymouth 4, Millwall 0. I cannot wait to get back onto messages I've had last week. A couple of replies pinging over there, I think. Evening all, come on, Borough, lol. Yeah, there's it's 1-1 that in it. There's a massive chance they could get something from there because they are poor. But I mean, Burnley scoring too, eh? What's going on there? What is going on there? Rooney leaves Plymouth and they take off form-wise. I wonder why that is, Andy. Evening Jay, my good friend. Plymouth 4, Thugs 0. Yeah, I might have to stretch that to 5 or 6. That's class, that. Remember when I was calling Millwall League 1 level and they all came for me? League 1 level? Well, they're getting beat 4-0 by a side that will be in League 1. I don't care what anyone says. I still think Plymouth go down. I still think they go down. All right, Matty, this is easy cruising, lads. It is, buddy. It really is. Really, really is. It's we are looking unstoppable. Andy Rowe, last year in the Championship, you sensed the danger. This year, I can't see any danger signs. No, I can't. You know, it does me head in. This whole Leedsy tag. I see it on so many channels, people saying it's Leedsy. Nah, let's just give up with the whole Leedsy tag. I mean, look how lads are playing. Let's give them some credit here. Let's not just tarnish them with a brush of the Leedsy tag. Everybody's got this tag. Speak to my friend Sunderland fan, and he's like, yeah, we all say it's doing a Sunderland. Everyone's got some sort of permutation, some sort of variant of we're doing a. Yeah, we've fucked up a lot of times, but look how good we are now. You know, look at the lads. They are pulling up trees at the minute. I've not seen a side look this strong in this division for a long, long time. I know Burnley's side were good. They were that Reading side that got the points record. Fairly average, really. You know, they're really good at keeping clean. Benny Burnley, Esper scored a few more goals. No, honestly, I've not seen anyone look this dominant at this level. I really haven't, and maybe that's rose-tinted glasses for Leeds United, but at this level, this dominant, looking like he could put 5-6 past sides every single game currently. I mean, Coventry away, Watford away were supposed to be tricky games, weren't they? Not at all. We don't concede. We score at will. As players are all absolutely firing. I mean, can we start calling Dan James a Premier League player now? For me, he's a Premier League ready player now. He's come down. He's improved. Fark has improved. Daniel James, and now he's ready for Premier League for me. Last year, it was always a conversation that we've dropped down a level. You know, maybe that's why he's performing. Let's just say he's performing now because that's his level. You know, in terms of this level of his performance is what you're going to get from him. Yeah, it'll be harder in Premier League, but what a dangerous weapon he is to have in the Premier League. Balls over the top, pacing behind, different option that people don't have. He's ready for Prem now. Is Dan James for me? Hey, Lacey, hope you're all right. 11 goals, 2 leagues games, 0 conceded. The way we are playing, the goals we're scoring, honestly, it's phenomenal, Lacey. I just haven't seen no like this in a long time, if ever, at this level. I just don't feel nervous, Lacey. I do not feel nervous, which I want to feel a bit of nerves. I do, but they just don't give me any nerves at all. Leeds United at the minute, it's just so routine. It's just so routine, but it's so good. It's such a good watch. Really is. Say I've had it in spells now. We've seen it for longer that way. Wilco Whites, yeah. My mate Danny will stick these links in. Please, if anyone's in who isn't usually in, please drop a sub to my friend Sean at Wilco Whites and my friend Danny Rumsey. Great watch along last night. Thanks, Sean, mate. It went really well. Buzzing. Absolutely buzzing. Paul for Leeds. Early, pal. Yeah, it is. It is, mate. Joe's doing final word at 10. And I thought I might as well get it done get it done at 9 and then get to bed early because I was knackered last night. Simon, little Elsie's home now with her mum, 1 day old. Yeah, congratulations again, mate Simon, on your granddaughter Elsie. That's class. Glad everyone's safe and well and home, more importantly, where she belongs. Sound that. LUFC best in the country. We're just so good. As fan base is best in the country, that's for sure. As club is the best in the country. And aside building up to that, they love building up. Second half of the season is normally easier as well. Yeah, well, you're getting that momentum, don't you? I mean, we've seen out with Danny now. What was it last season? Did we go 14 games unbeaten? Aren't we that now? 14 games since we were last beaten. We're in the middle of that run now, aren't we? Exactly the same as last season. And this time we've got no Bamford spearheading it, which is even better. Mighty Plymouth for smashing Millwall. Yeah, I can't believe it. I keep refreshing it to see if it's gone to 5 or 6, but 4-0. Absolutely buzzing. I cannot wait to get Millwall some stick. This is what happens, innit? I don't know actually because they've got not to play for. Have they? I say, would they rather have beat Leeds or 1 point in league? I'm sure they'd rather have beaten Leeds and lose today. To be fair, it's a bit different for us, isn't it? Is Sean Healy giving Daniel Farke Valentine's a surprise, lol? Just thought Borough can keep this as a draw. Yeah, I mean, I'm not one for looking at other fixtures. I won't lie. It's a little bit more interesting tonight with them all playing. But if I'm honest, Paul, I sort of looked at the fixtures and thought, I know Middlesbrough was a tricky one, but because it's at Sheffield United, I sort of have it down that they'll all pick up 3 points apiece anyway, so I'm not too arsed. But a massive couple of weeks coming up for us, isn't it? Hey, Stevie, I was Farke out. I've completely changed my mind, pal. We are now getting what we know they're talking to. Wow. No more Farke. F off, Stevie. No, thing is, you can change your opinion, can't you? You can change it. It takes a big man to admit it, but yeah, 100% you can change your opinion. Do I think it were wild? Yes, when you were saying it because we were still top at league. But what I will say with that, Stevie, is your argument was the way we were playing, the style. You didn't like how the shackles were always on. You felt it were very negative football, even though we're getting the results. Where for me, you can't argue with results. But now you're getting both. I think you'd be daft to still want Farke out. You always had that point of but he needs to let the shackles off. He needs to let the boys play football. And now you're seeing that, and you're seeing what the boys can do when they're given a bit more freedom. Whether that's Farke just saying go out there and play after holding them back all season, or the players just naturally building up to that level now, and it's probably a bit of both. I do feel like he's given a little bit more freedom to certain players. I feel like it definitely helps having Bogle and Firpo, which is probably the first time we've had them consecutively now with injuries, with suspensions. Now you're seeing what we can do with, because last year we had Firpo, but we had actually great points this season. We've had Bogle, but we've had Byram, and he likes one to stay and one to go. Whereas now they can both go. They both got freedom to go. The wingers are playing well. Aronson at 10's playing well. Everyone now I think's like the full pomp, and because the performance is matching the results now, mate, you've got no reason for me to not to be happy, Stevie. So yeah, 100%. Sean Healy, roses are red, violets are blue. Bielsa and Wilco are better, so F you. Is the Valentine's poem to Farke. I love that, mate. Well, I try not to swear so much, I swear all the time, don't I? But I watched back my reactions yesterday, and I actually thought my reactions were pretty good, to be fair. Weird watching yourself react like that. Yeah, I realised a little bit I swore. My wife told me I swear a little bit too much, so I'm going to try and curb it a little bit, or not when it... Try to be a little bit more, not so rough. From Blue, rough. Plymouth on a high, Liverpool now. Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? That win against Liverpool just skyrocketed the confidence, and fair play. I'm absolutely buzzing. I'm looking more at the Plymouth score against Millwall than I am the other side. I know everyone else will be looking at the Sheffield United Middlesbrough game. I'm looking at that Millwall game. I just want to see getting concede a few more so I can proper go to town on them. Sheffield are dominating tonight. I've been watching a team with purpose tonight. Still a shite team though. Feel sorry for Sheffield fans watching this. Yeah, well, then I tell you what, mate. Feel sorry for them. How do you feel about Burnley fans? They've got it even worse, haven't they? A little bit better at Sheffield United than Burnley in terms of where they play football, but Burnley are worse, mate. But yeah, neither of them are saying well delight, but they get enough points to challenge. But we're seeing that now, Stevie. We're seeing that gap start to appear. I think in another 2 or 3 games' time, we're well clear, and we are. We're on that party bus weeks and weeks for the end of the season for me. The last team that was this dominant was Wolves. Yeah, with all those pots. Yeah, to be fair, they were really, really good. They were under Nuno then, weren't they? They came up with Nuno. That was a really, really good side, to be fair. Yeah, and like I say, I know Reading that points record, but yeah, when I look back at actual exciting, decent teams who could blow teams away at will, that Wolves team were probably up there, mate. But was that about 6, 7 years ago, maybe? About 2 or 3 years before Bielsa. Matty I said last night, give James a new contract. He's in his prime, was let down badly. Honestly, they need to be doing it now for me. You don't want to be messing around. I mean, I do think he'd wait for Leeds. I don't think he's one of them who's bothered for. I mean, he's played at Scum, hasn't he? So he knows what it's like to be I say a top 6. At the time, there'll have been a top 6 side, won't there? He knows what it's like to play for I suppose a club like that in Premier League. I think he knows, he's got the love of the fans. He loves Leeds United. I think his dad supported him, didn't he? He looks like he supports me, gives it everything for Leeds United. The way we've treated him and he's still there, it's a bit of an unusual one, isn't it? That he's stuck around really when you think how bad it was. It's like, I don't know, it's like a partner cheating on the partner and then just stays and just accepts it. It's a crazy one, honestly. I feel like it was that bad how Leeds treated him. I think it was that bad. We treated him like dirt. And I know it's football and there's no sentiment in football and all that, but I genuinely feel like we treat him like dirt. And for him to dig in and give what he gives for that shirt and the passion you seen with fans last night, incredible bond he's got with those fans now. And he is now the first name on team sheet. Willing on, or don't get a look in. Don't get a look in for starting. He is phenomenal as Dan James. So proud of what he's achieved. And I'm so happy with Farke for getting best out of him. I've always been a Farke in, and now I'm happy to say I still am Farke in whether we win 1 or 7. Yeah, I mean, scorelines, for me, I hard to ask on scorelines, I won't lie. I think we're going to win every game. I think there'll be some games, I don't see us scraping 1-0, Danny, I don't. It's not our style. There'll be some games we'll win, 2-0, maybe 3-1. And it could have been 6s and 7s, but it doesn't really matter. It's very rare we win a game by a goal, innit? We're normally a couple of goals to good at least. But yeah, it's all about the points, really. It doesn't really matter about how many goals we get. But I tell you what, it's entertaining now. We're getting value for money out. We're really excited to watch the boys now. It's phenomenal how they're playing. It's not about fixtures, it's about us. Yeah, and we're doing brilliant. We're doing brilliant. We're hitting form at the right time. You've seen sides around us like Burnley now not being, apart from tonight, not being able to score, a couple of 0-0s. For a fact, Sunderland have got a few more drop points than them. For a fact, Sheffield United have. When you're looking at the strongest out of those top 4 sides, the Leeds are in the pomp now, and we're going about playing Sunderland, playing Sheffield United. I'm worried about that. They'll be nervous as hell coming on the road on Monday. What a game that'll be, though. 6 matches before the national break might be virtually over yeah, honestly, 100% it could be. Yeah, could be mid-80s by that point, potentially. What's that, 8, 6, 12, 18 points up for grabs. 18, that's 69. 70, 88, 87 points. Could be. I could see us winning the next 5 or 6. Genuinely could. Yeah, it could literally be over by international break, which is wild. All they ever wanted was these players playing. Yeah, like I said, they've done it in spells, and we've seen in certain games how well they can be. That's what's annoyed us. That's probably what's annoyed you too, Stevie. When you see it in spells, you just want it for a longer period. When you blitz someone away and you're 2-0 up after half an hour, it irritates you when for the next 60 minutes you don't progress and you don't push on for more. And now you're seeing it for a prolonged period, hence why we're banging in goals left, right and centre. I mean, in the last 6 games, conceded 0, scored 18. We're averaging a 3-0 every game for the last 6. Scandalous. It's scandalous. Sheffield United are trying to die for pens, are they? Yeah, Danny says Dan James only got 16 months left in his contract. Need it doing in the offseason. Need it doing as soon as possible. I know they've said that they would look at contracts till end of season. For me, that's the biggest one. That's the biggest one that he's doing. Thing is, as well, if say a big move did come for him or someone came in for him, you're not even talking big money at that point, because he doesn't have a year left on his deal, and his ceiling's the highest it's ever been for me. He's playing better now than he'd be worth more money now, I would assume, than when we bought him from Scum as a Premier League player. I think everyone knows what he's about. There'll be suitors in for him. There'll be loads of suitors in for Dan James. We need to be careful with this one. Gavin James, DJ reminds me of Click, but kicked to the curb, come back, completely different player, redemption. It just shows you one bad season doesn't make. No, you're right there, mate. Click, we sent Click out on loan, didn't we? Into Europe, I think somewhere. Didn't think he was going to do anything at Leeds United, and then Bielsa comes in and makes him an absolute cult hero. Really good example there, buddy. Yeah, massive. I forgot about that, to be fair. A bit like Aronson too. Aaronson's come back and he's done bits. Like you say, sometimes a season, wrong manager or whatever, I think that's the same with Dan James as well. I think the manager's definitely made him the player he is now, 100%. Him and Farke have got a really good thing going. Your first, Andy Rowe, your first watch along was like a season pro. Even the celebration, you were conscious of not to distort the mic. Top job, my thanks, Paul. Yeah, we'll pretend it was to not distort the mic and not because I had kids asleep upstairs. No, yeah, it's how I sort of shout because I'm used to kids being asleep in the house. I tend to like, but yeah, I also knew if I go too loud, I've seen it on Joe's, it like cuts out on mine, didn't it? So it was like, yeah, it's sort of the pitch I went for. But it's like my natural reaction now, I think. I'm used to like creeping around the house and trying not to be too loud. But yeah, I'm glad you picked up on that, mate. I really try my best to just try and relax and enjoy a game like no one watching sort of thing and just chatting with my mates, which is essentially what I'm doing. But yeah, watching it back to clip the goals together today, I was actually quite happy how I come across. I'm just a passionate guy, so I suppose the goal celebrations were always going to look all right because I overreact to more TT when it comes to Leeds United in every way. Danny says, I say we get 11 points out of the next 6. 3, 6, 9. Is that 3 wins, 2 draws, and a loss, Danny? Who do you see as losing to, pal? Because that's dropping 7 points. So there's a couple of draws in there and a loss. Who do you see as losing to? Who's his biggest threat there? In terms of a loss as well, I know there's a couple of potential draws in there. You know, everyone will be looking at the Sunderland and Sheffield United game. I think there's drop points on offer there. 100%. I can't disagree that we could drop points there. I can't. But what I will say is it's probably the more obscure ones you'd have to worry about because they're going to be peaking out there for these 2 big games. You know, at least the players will be saying, they'll be looking at these 2 games and be thinking, right, you know, win these and we're nearly there. It'll be the one after that. Where it'll be a little bit you need to worry about. The one that bites you on the arse will be one you're not expecting usually. Even when he has the players in like this season, we started slow, but we'll stick with him for next season. But I fear it won't go well. Maybe not. But we'll have to see, won't we? It's also been scared by hanging on to Jesse Marshall. yeah, 100%. Danny says, on Matty's watch along when we scored, I wanted Al Ramazani backflip from my mate. I can't even sit cross my legs and put my bloody finger on my lips, mate. I can't even do that. I've been able to do that since I was about 4. Like, no chance, pal. I think we'll get at least 7 goals in the next 2 games and concede 0. I love that, Paul. Love that, mate. I hope you're right. There's every chance. I think Sunderland, you know, I'll do predictions on Friday on Late Night Leeds. Make sure you're there for it, but I'm going to say 3-1 Leeds. I've got Middlesbrough vibes from it. I think they're going to come. They're going to have a go. We may concede. I always say 3-0, but I'm going to go 3-1. I think on this. I might change my mind by Friday. We'll see. But I'm expecting them to play football and have loads of space for us to run into. I really do. Some fool thinks we lose to Blunts. We ain't losing to Blunts. We're not. We ain't. The very least, it'll be a draw at the least. QPR away looks tricky. Possibly, mate. Possibly. Danny talks. I said last night, DJ deserves a new contract because he deserves it. He's earned it. When June comes next year, he's gone. Not because he's not good enough, but we let him down. We can't let him down again, can we? I'm sure we'll get him tied up. I'm sure we will. It'll be the contract renewal at the top of the list, 100%. There's no way they won't be sorting that out for me. Paul says, I hear everyone saying lose games. Everyone's saying lose games moving forward to who in the championship are remotely close to our level at the moment? Nobody. Yeah, you know what it is? It's if we have an off day, Paul. It's if we drop our levels. If we have an off day, that's when people will catch us out. If we play anywhere close to us level, even a level or 2 below sometimes, we win the game, don't we? We only drop points when we don't turn up. It's as simple as that. When your quality is way better than everybody else, it's only when you let your levels drop. And for me, you are going to have days like that. You can't go 46 perfect games and win every game you can't. Hence why, you know, we haven't got every point that's been on offer. But from now till the end of the season, with the form we're in now, we've only having 14 games left. What do we need to win? 8? 9? I don't see us losing. Again, if I'm honest. If we do, what's it going to be on average? 1? When you look, we've lost 3 in 30-odd. Couple of draws. I don't see how we don't pick up at least 10 more wins. 30 points puts on 99 points. I predict we get 100. So I'm thinking we're going to get about 11 wins, mate. Maybe 3 draws. That's how I see it. And it'll be our level. When we drop points, Paul, it'll be us dropping our level. Because no one could beat us on quality. But Cardiff looked tricky. Coventry looked tricky. Watford was a worry. Then 13 goals later. Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest with you. I wasn't worried about any of these, Lord, at all. None of them. A lot of people were definitely worried about Coventry and Watford. I think back-to-back away games because this season we haven't been great away from home. We've got better. We look like we're in full flow again now, don't we? But those back-to-back away games have bothered us a little bit this season. we've started winning now away, haven't we? Which what the only thing that we're letting us down, really. The only thing that was stopping us creating a gap. Now we've sorted that out. What's happening? We're creating a gap. Yeah, you're weighing up your well, mate. Sunderland now winning, Sheffield are drawing at the moment. Yeah, I mean, it's quite an interesting night tonight, isn't it? Oh, Millwall have scored. Millwall have scored. We're on the pitch. 4-1, you buggers. I wanted that to go 5-0, but never mind. But yeah, don't get too fixated on teams around us. It's honestly, it really don't matter for me. Like, we're just going to win every game anyway. So, Sodom. It's interesting because they're all playing out there tonight, so everyone's keeping an eye on it. But I sort of think they're all going to get 3 points anyway, so I ain't going to be too disappointed if and when that happens. I think Sheffield United will score again. It's just what happens. Whenever you want one of these sides to drop points, you look and score at 92nd minute, bloody equaliser or goal. It is what it is. Top banana, you're an hour early, mate. I know 10 o'clock's sort of my spot. I spoke to Joe earlier. I'm not on the final word, but he's doing the final word at 10. So I decided to go a little bit early. Oh, Plymouth have scored. It's 5-1. Get it. 5-1 Plymouth. Wow. But yeah, so I just decided to come at 9. There's no point sometimes be coming on, if Joe's on. Sometimes it can't be helped. Sometimes he whacks them on a bit without notifying anybody. So I asked him today, is he going on after watch-alongs? Because I thought it'd be a nice time for me to go on at 10, my normal spot, people around at watch-alongs. And then he said he was doing his final word at 10. So I thought I'll come on an hour early, get to bed an hour earlier. Which is great, but I have to come on and have a chat. I had to. Evening all leads out with MOT. Yes, marching together. Top banana at 100%. Millwall 4-1. It's now 5-1. Oh, I'm so happy. So happy. Bloody Millwall. Fuck off. It takes a dodgy ref decision or sending off that can go against us. Stuff like that, mate. Injuries, individual errors, a poor referee. It's going to be that sort of thing that's going to do Leeds in, because I just don't see how we can drop points. We will drop points. I'm pretty sure a couple of draws will be in that running. But in terms of dropping enough for the other ones to overtake us, that ain't happening. Paul says, an off day to us at the moment is not scoring more than 4, pal. Yeah. Well, a 2-0 is a bit of a, we were off it today, innit? A 2-0 win. We were off it. And it's not just his speed. It's Dan's main attribute. It's the modesty guy. Yeah, I love it. Next door, no ego, head down, ever improving, never come. Andy, bang up money there, mate. He's just so humble. He's so humble. He looks quite. I mean, he's getting a bit more. Not too shy with fans, really. Like, you see him now when he's going up to fans, and I feel like he's starting to believe he's the man, because he is the man currently. I know Solomon's doing just as good on left hand side, but for me, I look at Dan James as the man now. We all thought it'd be nonce after some of our left, but it's definitely Dan James. And there were spells last season where Dan James was the man, but he just looks he looks quite awkward with it. And I feel like the last few weeks, especially, he's coming out of his shell a bit more, and he's running around with his chest out, and he looks like he hasn't wilted under that pressure, has he? He hasn't wilted under that pressure. And there's massive pressure on Leeds this season, but the way they're playing, none of the boys, none of them, the manager, no one looks stressed to pull that shirt on that minute, which is mad when you think what's at stake this season, because a lot of us would say if we didn't go up this season, we ain't going up. Last season I always felt like we had another bite of that cherry. This season it don't feel like that. But it's not even in the thought process. It's not even in the thought process. We're just so bloody good. It's not very often as a club we are all in a positive time. No, I'm looking in the same direction. It's starting to feel a bit like Marcelo. Yeah, well, I was having this conversation, like I say, and it feels wild. But yeah, it's starting to feel similar. This last batch of games, I mean, that Millwall one in between, I know it's cup, but it was still there. Still went to game. It was still a loss for Leeds United. Kids' bloody tablets, honestly. But yeah, it's that Millwall game still irks me a bit. Obviously, it's still a loss, but I'm starting to proper love this side. I'm starting to love everything about it. I'm so proud of them. The football they're playing is fantastic. Like I say, I haven't been this comfortable. I can't ever remember feeling this comfortable as a Leeds fan. And we've got to enjoy it. We can sit there and moan all season like people have done, like in good and fark in, fark out, all this shite. I mean, it were only 3 weeks ago, though, there were certain fans making compilations of Joel Pirro for his poor performance at Burnley. Why single him out? They were all poor against Burnley. But it was a good point. Now look at Joel Pirro. Best thing since sliced bread now. And I tell you what Joel Pirro is going to do. He's going to win Golden Boot. And if he doesn't win Golden Boot, it'll only be Dan James who beats him to it. Joel Pirro looks fantastic now, doesn't he? But like I say, Burnley, only what, 3 or 4 games ago, he's getting slated for his performance against them. Rafinha, oh, what a player. Cannot believe I've just written that. What, about Farkin? Gavin says, the teams we dropped points against last season, we are winning with ease. Yeah, no, they are. You're seeing that this season now. You're looking at a game and you're going, oh, we won that. We lost to them last year. We've bettered that. We've bettered that this year. Done that loads this season. Loads. These next 2 games could decide. Yeah, I'm hearing this a lot. I think it's the obvious thing to say with where they are in league, and there has to be. There's a little bit of truth in that win. I mean, if we go win both games, we'll be out of sight, won't we? Let's be fair, we're out of sight at that point for me. It's game over. I'd probably say they definitely must not lose. 2 draws back to back, would it be a disaster? Probably not. We'll still be top of league, I would imagine. But yeah, I'd take 4 points out of these 2. But I think we get 6. I won't lie. But I would take 4. You know what I'm like? I don't like taking second place if someone give me it now and all that. But if someone said I'd give you 4 points next 2 Monday games, I'd say I'd probably take it, because that'll be a really good return. But I fully believe him to get 6, and there's every chance we don't even concede in these 2 games. There's every chance. That Sunderland one's massive, because that's a proper statement win if we go out there and play. If we can play like we played these last few games against Sunderland and slap them up, 2 or 3 goals, really good performance, another clean sheet. You know, we're there, aren't we? We're there. Having lost to Butter in the cup, I'm surprised they aren't in the top 6. Yeah, well, it's consistency for Butter. On the day, they can beat anyone, Andy. They're brilliant on the day. It's just they can't put a decent, consistent run together. It's been what's let them down all season. One-off game, they can beat anyone. Yeah, it's kicked off late. Sheffield United still 15 minutes in that. They'll get one, you know. They will. Forget about the other teams. It's about what we do. Last year we looked at the other teams. Where did that get us? Let them buggers worry about us. Yeah, oh mate, Steve, if you think they're not worrying about us, you're wrong, pal. They are worried about us. Subconsciously, they'll already be playing for second spot. A bit like we were last season until we clawed it back. We were always looking at Ipswich at second, weren't we? We always thought Leicester were out of sight. And even when we got close to them, we always sort of thought Leicester were probably going to win it. Let's be fair, we probably did. We were always vying for second spot, hoping, praying that Ipswich dropped points so we could sneak into second. That's all it felt all season last year. It felt like we could only get second. That was our top. That's what this season's like for all these buggers. It is. Well, if it's mathematically possible, they'll believe, they'll try, but they all know the fans will be talking. I'm seeing it online already. Leeds are done. There's 3 battling out for one spot now, because Leeds are done, and they all know it. DJ's matured as a player. He's nearly 28. He's becoming one of the elder statesmen. Yeah, he's done it. He's matured so well. I didn't think he could grow the elements of his game that he were lacking in. I didn't think he could get better in his decision making. I didn't think he could get more. He looks more of a technical player now. He's always just been. A couple of years ago, we kick it and run, kick and chase. Now he can dribble, he can take a man on, he can cut back on his left and float it to back post. His finishing is very clinical now. He has games, don't get me wrong, because his pace gets him through so many times. He has a lot of chances, Dan James. So it is hard to take as many chances as he's getting given, because he has a lot. But he's the most clinical version of Dan James we've ever seen. I mean, yesterday, those 2 chances, a lot of time to think about it, which used to be his problem. Buried them. Emphatically. First goal, beautiful placement, power pass keeper. Second one, just rifled it straight past him, no chance. Whether it's assists, goals, he's unreal, mate. He's developed into such a good player. DJ's in his prime now, and he is. It does feel like Bielsa, we have the players for one. We ain't doing much birdie ball to injure them. Yeah, it's injuries. I know we've had a few this season. Some really bad ones, and there's Pascal and stuff like that, and Voba. But I do feel like we're coping well with injuries. I feel like we're not that bad at all. I mean, having Voba out and Strauch out. Strauch's getting back now, I know. But that's a little bit of a worry when you think we're light there anyway. But I think we've got enough. Paul says, watching Burnley game in bits now, and their commentators are as boring as their play. They're really, mate. Joe was saying Tanaka and Pirro were receiving tough love from Farke. Is Farke playing mind games? Maybe. It's one of them, innit? In life, you've got certain people you've got to put your arm around. Sheffield United are 2-1 up, yeah, I can see it now on here. Yeah, fair enough. I told you to get one. There's certain people in life you've got to put your arm around to get the best out of them. Certain people want to be pushed. Certain people need pushing to get more out of them. And that's probably fair. But when you look at it, I think it's in Tanaka's sort of like nature when you look at him to be quite. Looks quite a quiet bloke, quite timid. I think he probably does need a bit pushing to come out of his shell. And we know Piro's body language. We look at Piro, he seems a very chilled guy. People say for one reason or another, but he's a very chilled guy. Maybe them two just need a bit more, a bit more urgency, a bit more of a rocket up their ass. Maybe, I don't know. Everyone's different. I think Brendan Avanson's the kind of person who needs an eye around him. I think Matteo Joseph does. Certain players need that. And yeah, tough love on Tanaka and Piro. If that's what he's doing, mate, it's bloody working, isn't it? Stevie says, I'm as bad, Matty, as about Farker. Not because I didn't want him to succeed. I just felt weakly we were never let off a leash. Pack of dogs hunting impacts like now. Yeah, they are. Look how hungry they are. We are ruthless now. On the ball and off the ball, Stevie. And it's nice to see. And I understand your frustration because you saw it in spells in games all season. We've seen this all season, just for little moments in games. And you knew it with it, and you knew it within him. You're only bothered, you're only angry because you know it's there. You know what I mean? And I understand it. I was just happy to accept that and take the positives of being top of league, where some people weren't. They wanted more, and that's fine. You pay your money, you go to stands, you stand there in freezing cold, as you said, and you want more. Now you're getting more, and now you've switched your opinion, and that's great. That's great. Yeah, 2-1 them. Yeah. Good to see Farker raising the bar for the squad. They're playing for the place in the Prem squad now. Yeah, they are. Well, that's it. That's a great point, that Lord. Great point. They're not daft. They all know. They're going to have to work really hard to be a starter for Leeds United in Premier League. They all know there's going to be massive investment. There'll be a lot of players coming, whether it's for massive money or not. They know there'll be a big turnaround. Lads that definitely be expecting 5, 6, 7, 8 players to come in the summer. So they're playing for their Premier League futures. Last thing you want is to be part of a promotion winning side and then let go. Barry Douglas, when we got promoted first time, then let go. You don't want that. You want to be part of that side going up, and you want to back yourself, and you want to give yourself the best opportunity to play in the Premier League. And right now, for these players, a lot of these players, Leeds United is the best chance, maybe the only chance they'll get to play Premier League football. So they've got to give it their all, and they're playing for that contract now. Like I said on my review 2 to 3 years ago, we would have blasted them. He would have blasted. Yeah, Dan James would have blasted them about 100%. 100%. He wouldn't have had composure. He wouldn't have been able to slow his brain down enough to bury that like he has. And I don't want to say it's inevitable because he missed a lot of chances of getting Coventry, but he's getting to a point now where when he's played through one goal, you'd expect it net to bulge. You just are. Exactly, Matty. There's not a supporter in the UK saying that we won't piss the league long without continue. Yeah, 100%. 100%. Everybody's saying the same. Leeds, if I'm honest, Stevie, Leeds fans are starting to say it now. It's always been Leeds fans. It's only ever been this season Leeds fans not thinking Leeds will go up. The bookies have had as favourites. When we were 5 points behind Sunderland, we were still odds on to go up. Odds on to go up. Odds on to win league, when Sunderland were 5 clear, which 5, I know it's early in the season, but 5's are decent. But we're still well odds on. They were like 5-1 to win league, and we were like, I don't know, 1-2 or whatever. I'm not really massive on gambling, so I don't know. But it were massive odds, and we were 5 points behind them. It's only ever been Leeds fans who don't think we'll go up. But now even Leeds fans, Stevie, are thinking we're going to go up. It's just such a good feel factor. It really is. I can't wait for Monday night to be there at that game. Like I say, I think I'm going to miss one home game all season. The temperature of Ellen Road's been lukewarm all season, really. It's had good games, obviously. That 7-0 were incredible. I'll never forget that till day I stop breathing, to be honest. But I'm expecting Monday night under lights against Sunderland with the performances we've had up to. I think it's going to be absolutely rock. I'm expecting it to be the best atmosphere of the year, 100%. And I just hope the boys can raise to that level of intensity and give us what we've seen. Because if they give us anywhere close to what we've seen, we beat Sunderland. Farker's team's always come good in the second half of the season. Yeah. Well, this is it. They normally start slow and get better. Things with this season, Danny, he's had his best ever start to a season. His best ever start. Phenomenal. Hiya, Tom. Hope you're well by mate. Leeds would demolish this side if they scraped a 2 and look. Yeah. Leeds will demolish any side, Tom, on this day, can't we? Champions again. Ole, ole. Don't worry, boys. Yeah, there's no worrying on my part, mate. 100%. And if they'd have raised the bar when Bamford was available, he might have scored more goals. Yeah. Raise that bar. Post 3 metres wider as well. Oh, Plymouth 5-1 ended getting. Danny, talk sport. I've been a gambling man before. I've seen favourites beaten easy before. I never go by the bookies. I've said we finished second from the start, and still am until it's confirmed we are winners. I mean, a lot of people are tech second, Danny. I don't think many people think we'll finish second. I just don't see a side better than us. I've said all season there isn't two sides better than us for sure, so we'll definitely go up. But there's no way I can't even call one side better than us. I know it's not all about being best side. There's a lot of variables into it, injuries and form and this and that. But look at us now, man. Come on. Nobody is doing us, Danny. Nobody's finishing above Leeds. Nobody. Danny, apart from last season, yeah. Evening all. Hi, Richard. Yes, I'm an hour early before you say it. Prefer this team than last year's, the Leeds high. Yeah, 100% they are United, mate. I definitely prefer this team to last season. I was a massive Rutter fan. Loved Rutter last season. He made me want to spend my money at Ellen Road. He played with a smile on his face. Loved Rutter. Great. It was nice having Archie Gray there as well. I was never massively keen on Somerville, although I jumped around my living room and Ellen Road many a times when he got us out of trouble in those games when he needed someone to step up, and he delivered. But I didn't feel a connection like I'm feeling with some of these boys now. Like, I just didn't like the way I feel about Solomon, the way I feel about James, Pirro, Tanaka, even Rothwell, Gruev, Byram, Bogle. I'm going through side there, and I love all of them. And I haven't felt like this since Marcelo. But these players are a level or two above Marcelo's side, sorry. A level or two above that promotion side. I'm in the south stand, Matty, right behind the goal. Cannot wait. Don't be scared about any opposition. Clean sheet, 3-0. Yeah, man. I think we're going to. I honestly think we're going to get 3 goals, Stevie. I may just predict a 3-1 on this one, but I'm hoping I'm wrong. But I think it might be a 3-1. Richard, what's with starting so early, Matty? Where was the notice? Not happy. Early. It's 9 o'clock. I know it's usually 10. I've said already, mate. It's Joe's doing his final word at 10. Didn't invite me on again. But yeah, I spoke to Joe earlier, had a bit of a conversation with him. I knew we were doing his watch-alongs, and I kind of thought, I'll go at 10. There'll be a lot of people about. Might get a few more numbers, etc. on here, which would have been good. But then he told me we're doing a final word at 10, so I just thought I'll come on at 9. I get to bed an hour earlier. I'm knacking him up for work at 6, so it just made sense. But 10 o'clock's my usual spot, and I don't have many people on at 10, so I quite like that as my sort of lane. But yeah, I thought I'd come at 9 this time, so a bit different. Well, I'm going big for the win on Monday, but won't reveal it yet. Okay. More United to Dan than last year. Andy Rowe, Joe Blackburn made me laugh today when he labelled Sheffield United managers ham-face. Descriptive. It really is. My mate Priestley calls him ham-face all the time. I did a thumbnail every season when we beat him, and yeah, literally just has a face like a ham, like a piece of ham. It's actually quite scary. It's very descriptive, but very accurate. So I just want to touch. I'm no tactician, but I just wanted to bring this up because I think it's very interesting. It's only stats from game. It's not crazy. It's not crazy. You know me. But that game yesterday, I'm assuming you'll look at stats, people. I'm not redesigning the wheel here. That's wrong there because it were 20 shots at goal, not 39. They copied and pasted the possession there. But look at that possession. Was anyone surprised by that? I had my mate Priestley WhatsApp me today a picture of these stats and went, "But I watching a different game." And I genuinely felt on the watch along. I said a few times, Watford had a lot of ball. So Priestley was shocked by that. Shocked. He watched the same game as me. He didn't feel like it was that much in their favour. I have to say, I thought it'd be a bit more 50-50, but I could, the eye test were telling me Watford had loads of the ball. They were playing out from the back. They had spells where they had the ball more than us. But did you notice a tactical change from Leeds United in this game? We let them have the ball and we played on the counter-attack. I've said so many times this season, and so have other content creators, so have other fans, so have just anybody who knows all about football. We have the players to play counter-attack football. So many times we play these low block sides and they don't really give us the opportunity to play that way because they're quite happy sitting in front of us and letting us have the ball. This was a game, Coventry were a game where they're letting us defend. They're holding the ball, and we're happy to do it. We can do it, and then we spring them on the attack. Those first 2 Dan James goals, absolutely fantastic. We're so capable of playing that way. You know, I don't want us in certain games to have 70% of that ball and struggle to break them down. We've seen that so many times this season. I do think we've sort of figured it out now, and we've got the answer for these low block sides. But I tell you what, how exciting is it yesterday to ease off a little bit in certain moments, and when they lose the ball, which ultimately the quality they have means they're probably going to, they commit so many men forward. I mean, I think of that second Dan James goal. Brent, I think it's Tanaka or Ampadu wins ball in area. Aronson out of his feet, little turn, through to Pirro. So unselfish, like we saw at Coventry. I think like it was a little bit self before side against Coventry. A lot of people could have squared the balls like they did Cardiff. It didn't quite work out. Pirro knows he hasn't got the pace, and he plays it round back to James to go through a goal. But I just thought that was a very notable difference in this game. That we say I'm no tactician, but we played on the counter attack, which it's not something we normally do. I am quite surprised to see us at 39%, but I did think it was more 50-50. I did think Watford edged the possession, but it's just so notable that, when you look at it and just think, when do we ever do that? But yeah, it's just a different way of playing. And when you've got the players we've got, it needs to be something we'll look at doing more often in certain games, because Dan James, Solomon, we've got the pace. We've got it. Just a lot of times, I don't think it's a case of we don't choose to play that way. I just think a lot of the times we don't have the opportunity because sides just want to sit behind ball and they don't give the opportunity to get behind. But in certain games when the other side are willing to play, maybe just let them play a little bit, knowing that we can do that. Because it worked so well yesterday. It worked so well. There you go, Danny. Yeah, we had less possession. There you go, mate. We did. Massively so. But Priestley, like I say, Priestley didn't even notice. He was like, did I watch a different game here? No, mate. As if he couldn't tell. They were very good with ball until they got to until they got up near our end, and they just couldn't do naught with it. Nearly scored the bar, but they were really good in little triangles. The midfield's decent. They've got a decent midfield of Watford. But our pressed them into oblivion at times, and they'll play out from back a couple of times. They did really well and progressed the ball really well. But the couple of times when we really initiated that press and they couldn't cope with us, and you just creating problems for yourself against someone like Leeds United. That first goal, what were he doing there? Kayembe, I don't know what he was doing. Can't play a lot when you've got Dan James. But that's a pressure. A feeling Aronson go close to you. That's a pressure. Sometimes you don't want to take a touch because you feel like it's going to get took away from you. That's what Leeds do with you. A bit controversial. There was a divide last season, mate. It stood out a few games. This team, though the field's ready for the challenge in front of them. Samuel was a distraction last year. Yeah, I think maybe. I don't like singling players out. He just weren't one of my favourites, but it was hard to say because he was winning us most of his games. I'm never a massive fan of Somerville. I know if we'd have kept Sinisterra last season, Somerville wouldn't have got a sniff, to be fair. He took his chance well and got a move. Fair play to him. But yeah, there weren't many players in that side I absolutely loved, if I'm honest. Never really liked Kamara. We were getting to grips with like Gruev and Ampadu. I liked Rodon. There were a lot of players there who I liked, but I didn't love. This side, there weren't many I don't love, to be fair. Skip, got to disagree with you on Ampadu. I missed something here. Tanaka and Ampadu, amongst other players, are far too good for this league. I worry when promoted, a number of top Premier League and European teams will be sniffing. I don't think just yet, Skip, for the simple reason. I'll say it again what I always say, Skip, when you come on. Look at that picture of bats. I love it. I think they'll just be happy to be in Premier League next season. It then becomes a talking point of if they are standout in a low-end Premier League side, then they want European football. That's the difference. But right now, going up next season, we'll see everybody stay that we want to stay. For me, there'll be European sides looking around, but I think when you're in Premier League, you can turn down nearly any European side unless you're at a top side. You Bayern Munich, your Real Madrid, and all that. I understand the goal then, but I think when you hit the Prem, you're happy. It's then after that you want that next level. Like we saw with Phillips. Do you know what I mean? Like we saw with Calvin Phillips. It was still a Prem player at Leeds United. But you could see where we were going, and he wanted to make that progression and make that next step. But next season, Tanaka and Ampadu will be buzzing to be Premier League footballers. I don't think anybody will be looking to leave us next season at all, mate. If I'm honest, Pirro and Solomon both had 100%. Did they, mate? Wow. That's wild, that, you know. That's wild to have 100% when you get ball as much as they do. Solomon, 100% pass rate. That's wild. Class, that. Watford had the ball more, but we had Gruev nullifying their midfield. He was the boss on the pitch. Mate, Gruev was outstanding. What a player he is. So underrated. I actually think last night he actually got noticed more last night than he ever has done. He got noticed. I've seen people calling him out this last 24 hours, saying how well he played. He was better than Tanaka yesterday. He absolutely bossed it. And now there's a conversation. Does Strout come back in, or does Strout have to fight for his place? I think Strout comes back in, and I love Gruev. Maybe, yeah, I do love Gruev. I like Gruev a lot. But I think Ampadu goes into midfield and Strout does come in, because I know Farker loves Strout and he's another leader on pitch and he's a threat from set pieces to a degree in both boxes. Over 6 foot, I've said it a few times. But there's an argument that you don't change a winning side, and right now Gruev looks outstanding. Gruev and Tanaka complement each other really, really well. I think Gruev and Tanaka could be as potentially our best midfield pairing. The attributes together is absolutely perfect. Gruev gives Tanaka a little bit more freedom to move forward. He's off for that last goal yesterday. What Tanaka can do in the final thirds of that pitch, when notoriously since we've had Tanaka, he's been doing a lot, you know, behind him, a lot of the defensive work. We've all said he can play 6, 8, or 10. What he did yesterday, you know, made Tom Ince look like an amateur footballer. I mean, he is, let's be fair, it's only Tom Ince. But what he did yesterday for that fourth goal was unbelievable. We've scored some belters this season. That will probably my favourite goal this season. Probably my favourite goal I've seen this season. Matty, you'll be twiddling your fingers and thumbs this week and counting down the minutes for Monday night's game. Andy, I think we all will be. It's it makes it more exciting. But yeah, I'm really not happy we haven't got a game at weekend. Got a couple of pre-records to do tomorrow. Got a pre-record for Only Fools and SAFC Wins channel. 9 while 9:30, and then I'm recording a pre-record 9:30 while 10. I'm going to put that out on Friday morning. We've then got Late Night Leeds on Friday at 10, and then I think I'm going to do a live preview with you guys on Saturday or Sunday. It's the lowest possession we've had since 5. Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, I didn't know for a fact, Danny, that was the case, but I gathered it would be 39%. I haven't seen it that low in a long time, and it were 4-0. Like, it don't matter. I mean, how many games have we had, Danny, where we've had 70% possession? It's been 1-0 to, like, Burnley game, 1-0 to Burnley at Ellen Road, and we had 65% possession, I think it was. Richard says Joe has bought the old Sky Sports graphics off Jeff Stelling, Chris Kamara. Yeah, it's a great idea what Joe's got. I think the graphics need to be a little bit better, if I'm honest. But I love it. I love it. It's class. It's a class idea. I don't know how he's done it. It's absolutely mint. But yeah, it reminds me of like the old Sky TV sort of thing. I think the graphics might probably get a little bit better as he has it longer or whatever. But the actual idea behind it is actually class, isn't it? Class. It's proper up to his watch alongs. Evening, Matt. I love the togetherness in the group now. No prima donnas out. They're in. We keep saying about how the squad's more depth in quality. The squad, there might not be as many star individuals, but as a collective, it's a better group. And I think not having these star individuals who are potentially looking at moves away, like your Rutters, like your Somervilles, there isn't as many egos in there. There isn't as many egos in there for me. It's another unique bunch. We didn't have egos when we had, as you know, when we went up with Bielsa. There were no egos then. I feel like there's no egos now. I feel like there's a humbleness in the group, but a willingness to get better, a hunger. It's that desire I'm seeing now. The way the hunting them down in packs. We saw that under Bielsa. The way we're springing counter attacks on now. You know, within 3 passes yesterday, he's in back at net for that second-hand James goal. Pass through on goal, and it's a goal. It's just they're just hungry. They're so hungry. They've been content this season on getting 2 goals and sitting back. Now they want more. I mean, let's make no bones about it. That Coventry game could have been 7 again. Last night could have been 7. You can't win 7 every week. That's why we haven't scored 7 3 games in a row. You're not going to do it. But the potential's there. We're creating the chances to do it. I mean, that last night were probably his best away game of the season. The Coventry game, I was saying the same after that. We're getting to a point now. The Cardiff game was best home performance of the season. Getting to a point now where every game's getting better. And you're thinking, how does it better this? And it's getting better and better. And, no balls about it. If we go beat Sunderland at home, there's every chance that that's his best performance of the season at home as well. It's going to have to be right up there, isn't it? Because Sunderland are going to come and play. But that's going to play into our hands. The blueprint against Leeds United is sit back, put all your men behind the ball, let Leeds play in front of you. That's the blueprint. Don't give Dan James any space in behind. Don't let Bogle overlap. For some reason, his last 3 league games, they've all come and had a go. And I love it. Fair play. But you are going to get beat. You are going to get beat. I can't wait to play Millwall. Cannot wait to play Millwall on the side. Cannot wait. Let's hope they lose a couple more there. And they come to Welling Road. 5 or 6 points above that relegation zone. Let's see them slip into it. Matty, I think you had heard about the split last year. I do have stories about some of the players. I don't want to bring them up. Some of them down tools. He already had a move up or not. Yeah, well, a lot of people said that. I don't know, mate. A lot of people have stories and stuff. I don't know how true stuff is, It's there's always stuff going on behind the scenes. So, there's that story, what we'll probably never hear of, that Crystal Palace game when we got relegated that season. Something happened in that, didn't it? For me, something happened in that game and it derailed the season. There's always going to be disagreements when people are passionate. People are born winners and stuff. There's always going to be stuff like that in a dressing room. Some of them just, I think a lot of those players just got flogged last season, mate. They just got flogged. They were knackered. They couldn't perform for that last 2 months like they did for the first, 6 or 7 months of the season, which was a shame because, we climbed that mountain, we got to the top of it, and we couldn't quite put that flag down, could we? Well, it just become too much. And what I think you're seeing this year is we're actually getting better. The further we're going in, we're getting stronger, which we didn't see last season. I remember the excuse days when we were scraping the barrel, blaming the blue away shirts. Yeah, we were. Has anyone seen my mate Vinny doing Only Fools and Horses? No, I haven't, mate. Last night was the best half hour of the away games this season. I thought it would that and I can't really call between that and Coventry. I thought that and Coventry were absolutely class. But they're very similar games. We just put a few more chances away, didn't we, last night? Yes, Matty, how are we doing? I'm good, Callum. Hope you're well, my good friend. I wonder if there will ever be a possibility that Rutter rejoins Leeds United. Nah, I don't think so. Mate. There's Callum's channel. Please go check my mate Callum's channel out. I don't mind banging other channels in my chat. So there's Callum's. That's what I said earlier, Matty. Hunting impact. We all have been begging for it. Finally, the managers' confidence, his players. Yeah. The cook, the opposition. Yeah. FC UK, the opposition. 100%. He believes in his bench, which is massive. Do we believe in him after that Millwall game? I don't know. But there's competition for places in the all over pitch. And as much as Dan James and Solomon aren't going to get picked to a starting spot by their wingers, it's great competition to have people like Ramazani and Nonno chomping at your heels in it. It's brilliant. And I do think that's a massive reason, why we're so good this year. It's the first time I've seen, even under Bielsa days, we didn't have people pushing the starting players like we've got now. I can't remember last time we did. Talk about numbers in squads and all this. We've never had players as good on the bench as we've got now. And that has elevated everyone's performance. And now, finally, it's probably took maybe 25, 26 games. Now Farker knows his 11. He knows his bench players. And the bench players now know what they've got to do to become starters. A lot of these bench players, your Ramazans, your Nonnos, your Josephs, were all starters 30 games ago. And they've lost out. But they know, these 20-minute spells they come on, they score goals like Pido did, like Solomon did, like James did when they got their opportunities. They know if you do it, you will get minutes. And it's down to them to impact games when they come off a bench. Problem is, like last night, they're coming off a bench with 15, 20 minutes to go, but it's just, cap and slippers on at that point, isn't it? Because we're 4-0 up and it's game over, really. And the intensity's dropped a little bit. there'll be games though where we need him to come on and impact it, and we need a goal potentially. And we've seen it before. We don't know away at Swansea. We've seen it. These will have to have big impacts. That bench will have a big impact still this season. But I think that's a massive difference from last season. Just the hunger and desire of every player. You've got players who are hunting and impacts, hungry, want to win ball back, want to score goals. Want as a collective to get Leeds promoted. Then you've got players on the bench who are fighting for their own positions as well, fighting for their own minutes. And they know, if they're not playing now in Championship for Leeds United, how they're going to be playing in Premier League. So it's that competition for places is massive. There's only Melly who haven't really got it. Aronson too, I suppose. Maybe Rodon, but there's only a couple of positions where you feel a little bit light, but not many. LFC passion, let everyone else win as long as we win. It doesn't. Yeah, I'm like that, mate. I've checked a little bit today at scores and stuff, but I aren't massive on checking other scores, to be fair. I'm more bothered about Millwall. I'm buzzing they've lost. Even Adam Pope mentioned something about some of the last season. Yeah, there was something going on. He probably just got a bit too big for his boots, didn't he? Richard Butler, if we can take max points from the next 3 games, I think we be 100%. Yeah, mate, I think we're up anyway. But yeah, those next 3 are massive. But we're going to say that all the time now. We're going to say every game's massive. Every game's huge. Richard Hogan, off topic, but is just John Eustace mad to go from Blackburn to Derby? You'd have to say so, wouldn't you? It's got to be something in the boardroom. It's got to be something at board level that he's not happy with at Blackburn. And he'll be happy to move to Derby, I guess, if that's the case. On paper, to us, as watching fans, it seems a ridiculous thing to do. But there'll be reasons for it. Maybe the way the club's moving forward is more fancy to Derby than Blackburn. But yeah, it seems wild on face of it. But I'll tell you one thing. It seems wild because Blackburn are doing better than Derby. But why are Blackburn doing better than Derby, Richard? Because of John Eustace. Blackburn haven't been a good side for years. Can John Eustace go to Derby and do something similar? Probably. If he goes to Derby, maybe he gets them top half next season. I won't rule that out because I think he's a top manager at this level, mate. Callum says, I see us going up. Nothing can stop us apart from ourselves. Yeah, I just think we're a different animal this season. But yeah, it's all dependent on us. We're going to say all the time, what a team that can beat Leeds is Leeds. It's something I've said all season. It sounds a bit boring, but it's probably true. But I just feel like this Leeds won't beat themselves up this year. They just won't. The building momentum's there. Sometimes you can see these things coming. There's not one element of our game. Not one element. I mean, Melier is the only weakness, I would say. Like when I speak to my mate Wayne from Only Fools and SAFC tomorrow, he'll ask me, where do Sunderland need to exploit? Where's Leeds' weaknesses? And what I would have to say, we've only got one, and that's Melier. Melier's been fantastic these last 2 games. He's got 6 clean sheets in a row, I think it is now. So his confidence is going to be as high as it's ever been. But he's the only chink in our armour that I could see. If you put pressure on him, ball into box, have several shots, he's the only breakable player for me that you could get any joy out of. I cannot think of one outfield player currently who I would say is a weakness. So the only little bit of hope I'd be able to give any opposition fan right now would be Melier, because he hasn't really been tested. But what I will caveat that and say, he will be the most confident he's been in a long time right now. Right now, he will be as confident as been in a long time. But I can't tell my mate Wayne any weaknesses really for this Leeds United side currently. I didn't have to watch his game. He messaged me yesterday saying, wow, you are on fire. No stopping you. They all know. It's a strange move, Richard. Well, it seems it, but like I say, there'll be something in boardroom, I think. Some at that level. There you go, Danny. Richard Hogan. He's had a falling out of Blackburn owners over transfers, his family all in the Midlands. There you go. When it comes out of personal reasons, don't matter how daft it might look, it's going to happen, innit? Maybe offered more money, but yeah, they are in playoffs. It is strange, but there's more to life than money, football, family and stuff like that. And your morals come first, and they have to come first. Although you got to be true to yourself. So fair play. If he leaves Blackburn and goes to Derby, fair play. The beauty is we know goals are coming. We just don't know the scores because they can come from anyone. Barring Melier, yeah. They can come from Melier own goals. But yeah, I mean, the amount of goal scorers we've got, the G&A have played. I mean, Piddo's on 20 G&A now. Dan James is on 16 G&A, I think. Solomon's on 15 G&A. We've even got Firpo on 7. It's crazy. It's crazy numbers. Richard Hogan, Danny, probably makes sense given circumstances. Luton and our bottom after side. That's crazy, isn't it? He is, mate. Some of them are struggling at West Ham. I mean, I don't know if he's injured, but I looked the other day and, he ain't even on the bench for some games. It's wild, isn't it? waiting for another John Useless masterclass. You hate John Eustace, don't you, Lord? You hate him. Yeah, he's been offered a decent transfer budget apparently at Derby, which they'll need if they want to do anything Derby. But for a team like Derby, Lord, whatever you think of John Eustace, he's a great manager for Derby. They'll be buzzing with that. If we ain't bothered about other teams, we wouldn't be here. We would be watching them shit clubs playing a shit band of football. Yeah, well, like I say, I'm not too arsed on their scores, mate. I'm not. Like, I don't really. I've had days, mate, where I haven't checked a score and then someone's reminding me of the play. Like, oh, bloody hell, and I've been told score. I've gone 5 hours after a rival's played. Like tonight, if I wasn't doing this, I might have been upstairs. I might not have even looked at my phone and checked any scores. Honestly, I aren't that bothered for checking other results. But obviously, you need other teams to always have to compete with, don't you? But I aren't like a lot of people who are just, really focused on other results. I'm just so confident in my side, it doesn't really matter. Leeds get some decent kickbacks on Somerville, especially if he gets a Dutch call. Yeah, well, there's always stuff like that in contracts, isn't there? And so there should be, because every other side has them. Marching up together, my good friend. Danny, you know your football news. He does, mate. He does. He's well clued up, is Danny. Might the keeper needs replacing no matter what in the Premier League. Yeah, I'd replace Melia next season anyway. He's still always going to be our weakest player, I think. But we need him to be strong from now to the end of the season, and he is doing fantastic right now, mate. He's doing fantastic right now. Can't complain. Since Hull, the lads have helped him out massively. These last 2 games, he's got them clean sheets as well as part of that collective. He's done really good. Who's safe for the Blackburn job? I don't know. Stevie, we cannot rely on the defence keeping the ball 20 yards away in the Premier League. No, you can't. You can't. I mean, in Premier League, I think it'll be a step too far for Mez because he's going to have a lot more shots. I say shots galore. We're not going to be as open as we were before, but make no bones about it. He's going to be hard in Premier League, isn't it? He's going to get tested a hell of a lot more. Danny says, people shoot me down for this, but with Farker back in Mez, I think he'll still be here in the Prem. Farker loves him. Danny, I ain't going to shoot you down for that. That's not you saying you want him here. That's you saying you think Farker wants him here. I can't disagree with you. Do I think Farker's going to be getting him, out the door or something with Prem? No, I don't, actually. I don't. We need to make the Solomon deal. But Richard, yeah, it'd be one of those deals. Might be looking to get done instantaneously. I really would. It's exactly the same as Rodon move for me. It works. Go get it done. Go get it done. I mean, I think if we'd have got promoted last season, we'd have still got Rodon. I think we need to do the same with Solomon. 100%. Solomon is that good. I think you'll know by the end of the season what he's like fitness-wise, because it's always been a thing with Solomon about his injuries. He seems in groove now. He seems like he's got over those injuries what he had early in the season. If we get to game week 46 and he hasn't had any more injuries and no more length of layoffs and he's continued this form, it might even be hard to do then, because there'll be a lot of people looking at him currently saying, let's see how he goes for the next couple of months at Leeds. It's a really good barometer to watching it. It's really good if you like Solomon as a player. He ain't going to be massively expensive, but not massively expensive. You can sit back, can't you, and watch Solomon and enjoy him a minute and see if his injury don't come back and his body holds up. Is he going to be an option for a lot of people, Richard? That's the issue. But Leeds, you know what it's like in Leeds. You look at all the players that have come and gone over years. So it does something to you, right? And it does something to you. Does this fucking club? We love it. And if Solomon gets that bug, some people get it, some people don't. His missus seems to get it. She loves it here. We've got to thank her for him even being here. And if he gets it, yeah, Mum, we're laughing out because if we sign Solomon as a perm, we don't even need to worry about us wingers. For me, in Prem, if we have Solomon, don't need to sign another winger. Centre mid, we'll need one because Rothwell will go. Rest of them are fine. Fullbacks just need cover. I'd sign Firpo me. I'd be happy. I would gamble. Currently on form, I would gamble on Firpo and Bogle. I would, but I'd want other fullbacks to push them, and I don't want cover. I want decent fullbacks to push them. I want two starters to push for both positions. But there's so many positions, striker. I want someone to come in to rival Pirro. It's crazy how you change your views, though. You know, a few weeks ago, I'm sort of looking at Pirro now, thinking he could be good in Prem. I don't know how I feel about it, but I'm just so buzzing. Like Pirro looks ace again now, doesn't he? Fair play to Pirro. Might the other teams behind Leeds keep winning? Leeds can't afford to drop any points. Yeah, Michael, but we will drop points. I don't think we'll win every game. I don't think we'll lose, Michael. I'd probably tip us to get more points than any other fan probably would tip us. I don't think anyone's going to say we're going to get 42 points out of the next 42 available. I don't think that's likely. But could we get mid-30s? Yeah. I think we draw 3 games. I think we drop 6 points. I think we draw 3 and we win 11. Which I think is staggering, which will be another 33 points, 36 points, mid-90. I think we get 100 points, so I'm talking shite there. Whatever 100 points is from now, 69, another 31 points. Yes, it's fine, 100 points. So that's what we get. I do. But we will drop points, mate, but so will everyone else. Everybody else will drop points. We will get more. If the season's ended now and we started again, in these next 14 games, we would get more points than everybody anyway. I fully expect that. So the fact we've already above them, we're fine. Andy Rowe, 5 million quid comes in summer, starting for his country, but in the competitive game, not from that. Okay. Rooney number 2. Rooney, I don't think Rooney's going to get another job in. Rooney ain't getting Blackburn job. Michael says, Matty, I loved your first watch along. Do you have any plan going forward? Thanks, Mike. Honestly, it means a lot when anyone says that. I had someone message me today from New South Wales in Australia, I think it was Queensland, one of the two. I know it's totally different, but messaged me from Australia, and he'd watched Joe's watch along live, and then he watched my watch along 8 hours later, and he knew the result, and he watched my full watch along. Didn't skim through it, watched the full watch along, and it blew me away that, because I was a bit nervous of doing it, but yeah, it went class, didn't it? I was really happy with it. So like I say, Michael, I can't do fruit day. My house is like a circus, honestly. It's like a zoo, actually. Like, kids are just nuts. So, and obviously I go to every home game. So all I can do is like 7:45 away games. But there is Sheffield United and there's Middlesbrough. So there's 2 more, unless there's any fixture change, which there could be. There's 2 more I'll do this season. Best thing about that is, I go live quite a lot. It might get boring for you guys seeing me 5-6 nights a week. I don't know. But if I'm going to do watch-alongs once every 5, 6, 7 weeks, which it might be, next season as well, it makes it better, doesn't it? It's a different voice for you to listen to every so often. But yeah, there's 2 more out of the next 14 I'll be doing for a definite, mate, because I really enjoyed it. So when I can, I will do it, but it is going to be rare. I'm going to do it all the time. Andy Rowe, is Ampadu's partnership with Rodon, or is Rodon and Strout the best? Stats on I say Rodon and Ampadu partnership is best. Yeah, they do say. They just go on these remarkable runs and not conceding goals, don't they, them two? But for me, I love Strouk, but I love Gruev, and Gruev plays for me majority of games now. If Strouk were out long term and wasn't playing, or if he stays benched, I believe, and I know at home you pick Rothwell, and away maybe Gruev starts, but I think you would see Gruev play over Rothwell more in these next 14 games. I think Gruev would play more than Rothwell. I think it's something you're going to have to get to grips with, people. I think Gruev is a Farker favourite, and Gruev played bloody ace yesterday. But it's the old Strouk holds the key to everything, doesn't it? Because if Strouk comes back in, Ampadu starts in midfield and Gruev's on bench, because it's got to be Tanaka, and it's got to be, and it would be Ampadu. It's going to be interesting to see. For me, I'd leave it again on Monday, and I would leave Strouk out and give it another game and see where we are after that. It's so hard to keep Strouk out if he's fit, though, because he's so good. He's so good. Let's not make no bones about it, because he missed a penalty, and Ampadu and Rodon are doing really well. They are, but Strouk is phenomenal. Strouk is our best defender for me. In my opinion, Strouk is our best defender. And Rodon's phenomenal as well. But for me, Strouk is the better defender. Strouk could go to a top club in his career. He could progress. He's got a higher ceiling than what Rodon is. Rodon has. For me, in my opinion. I've always said Ampadu's best position centre-back. And I'm starting to think it's not his best position. I've said it in past. He's looked better there. I think he can do it to a very high level. But I think he's a centre mid. But he's very good. Very good. He's great at centre half in a team that doesn't get really bothered aerially. Our games tend to be played on floor. We have a lot of possession. he comes into midfield like another option in there. It's not like we're getting bombarded with crosses and aerial threats very often. We play games at our pace. I think if you saw Anthony in Premier League at centre half, I think he'd get torn a new one. If I'm honest, he needs to be in centre mid when we're in Premier League. If you think he's good enough, that is, I do. But at this level, when we play the games on our terms, he's fine. He's a great player. We made a real mistake not buying a centre back. Now then, he wanted 40 million, but I don't think we have an option to buy Solomon. Could end up being a massive fee we can't afford. Yeah, it could be. On the other hand, though, it's risky having obligations in it, so I do understand it. It's going to be one of them where we're all going to want it to happen, and it could be like the Ben White saga, we miss out, but we also have the Joe Rodon one where we got it. But yeah, I think it'll be a big fee. I don't think it's going to be massive though, mate. I'd be surprised if it were more than 20 mil just because of his injury record. And he's having a great season, he is, but he's having it in Championship. I don't think Spurs want him. Spurs have got plenty of talent on wings. You know, they're struggling in terms of defence, but they've got Brennan Johnson, Kulavevsky, Son. They signed another one as well in January. I don't think they need Solomon, so I think he'll be available. Just depends on that fee. But Leeds and Tottenham have a decent relationship now, don't they? Leeds United have to win their next 3 matches in a row against Sunderland, Sheffield United, West Brom. Then it will be perfect February, plus gives Leeds an extra few points in front of Sheffield United. Yeah, Michael, it does. I don't think we need to. I think, ideally to get rid of any sort of tension and worry any of us have got about us fudging it up, it would be obviously perfect to get them. I don't think it's needed. I won't lie. I think, drawing a couple of wins there would suffice. I think we're still going to have a gap because I don't see, Sunderland, Sheffield United can't win all their games because they're playing us. If we get anything out of them, they can't win all 3 of their next 3 as well. Because let's be fair, we ain't losing at both of them. And there will be other sides. Burnley, they'll drop points too. So it ain't stressing me out. It really isn't. I think we're going to be absolutely fine. But yeah, I don't think we need to win every game because other sides will drop points. I don't see us dropping many. Ben White is what yeah. Michael, I couldn't bear if Leeds United finished behind the Blades and Burnley. It's still too close to call. Well, there's only a few points. Yeah, that's the thing. There's only been a few points in it all season. The gap's starting to creep in. I know they all won again tonight, so it doesn't feel like we've done much. But the eye test tells you Leeds are building. Momentum's coming in now. You're going to see Leeds just take off. I'm not seeing anything from anybody else to suggest there's any longevity in these next 14 games that they can give us enough to, to come up and compete with Leeds. Someone's got to come up in second, so it's going to happen with someone. Someone's going to do enough. But to compete with Leeds for top spot, it ain't happening. It ain't happening. Yo, Matthew, how's it going, brother? Come on the white. Come on, Subby. Yes, my boy. Steve heard Levy willing to let Solomon go for, but yeah, well, I've seen that 10-15. You've got to let it go on. You've got to go get him for that. You've got to get it go get him if he's that, mate, 100%. Would we have Connor Roberts back? He's out of contract in the summer. No, Mark, I wouldn't, mate. Not at all. Not at all. Nowhere near. I wouldn't have even had him back this year, me, Mark. I wouldn't have him as a Premier League player at all. No, not even as cover either. Not even as cover. I assume you were a fan, mate. But did you quite like him? But nah, we're never a massive fan of Connor Roberts, if I'm honest. If Leeds get promoted, would you offer Byram 0, 1 year 2? I'd give, you know what, right? I'd give Byram a bloody 10 year and tell him he's going to be wallpaper when he retires. I don't think you push it with a 2 year. I think he'd be happy with a 1 year. He's not a greedy player. He's a very humble man. He will take a 1 year rolling contract at Leeds United, 100%. So you just give him a year and just keep giving him a year while you're happy with him and he's happy to be here. But yeah, Danny says to give him a 10 year. There you go. But yeah, 1 year rolling. And I'd be fuming if he don't get another contract. And he'll get minutes and he'll do well. He'll do well. I'll absolutely love him, you know that. But yeah, I'd give him a 10 year. Sheffield United still have to go away to Burnley. Well, that's the 0-0, isn't it? Chef can come up. It's an easy 6 points next year. Yeah. So when everyone keeps talking about Scum coming down, no, I want Scum to stay up. That's an easy 6 points as well. Connor Roberts wasn't regularly in a weaker team, so I'd say no with a heavy heart. Yeah, I liked him, but I didn't think he was the best player at all. Michael, have confidence, says Stevie. Yeah, we're confident. We are confident. But yeah, we will. We look at that. I couldn't bear it if Leeds finished behind the Blaze. Yeah, Michael. It ain't happening, pal. Don't stress yourself out with that worry, mate. It ain't happening, buddy. It ain't happening. Danny had a bloody mind reader. Barron deserves a year. He's earned it. I'm glad you've said that, Stevie. He really has earned it. 100% he's earned it. He deserves it. What more can the lad do? He's as good on the left back as he is at right back. His biggest thing for Byram's always been his fitness, and this is probably best, bit of health he's had in since he left Leeds United. He's never been this available at any point since he left Leeds United as a kid. Andy Rowe, I'm not. I just know Matty is a Byram fanboy, massive fanboy. I actually love Byram. You know what it is? I love anybody. I'm one of them. I know you want quality, and I get that. But I'm one of them, me personally, who just wants to see a trier. I want to see a trier who cares and is humble. I don't like egos. I don't like people who are up their own asses. And Byram is just such a humble guy, and he goes about his business. No frills, no. Just gets his head down, gives it his all. He's always a 7 or 8. He's always a 7 out of 10 as a minimum, and he outperforms your expectation. And I love that. It's that underdog story. You know what I mean? Not everybody. Loads of people are fuming that we offered him a contract. People couldn't believe it. We're training with us, and that one thing that we give him a contract. He's probably been best buy we've had in 2 years because you get monetary value, what people expected of him. He's been phenomenal as Byram. Been phenomenal. Matty, last season's March international break killed Leeds. Yeah, it did, mate. Momentum with James Robertson, Nonto, Gruev coming back injured, and Rowe having his hernia up, not being seen the same play. Yeah, that's a massive thing. You know what I'll say with that, Michael, is we've got 7 or 8 games before international break. Let's go wrap it up before it, pal. Let's go wrap it up before, like I said earlier. Next 3 are massive. Win them, couple more wins. We could be mid-80s by that point. You could come back from international break with 6 or 7 games to go and needing 2 wins. Let's just go do it. Let's go smash it before international break. Let's just put that to bed before then. And it's possible, Michael. We could get to that international break, mate, and only need a couple of wins after it and be there, be in dreamland. And I can sort of foresee that happening. I really can. I can foresee that happening. We do. Sunderland 2-0, beat Sheffield 3-1. I think other way around. I think we do Sunderland 3-1, and I think we do Sunderland 2-0. That's what I predict, me. So Sheffield 2-0. Michael, Matty, would you say this season's Leeds team are better than last season, given we had Somerville, Archie and Kamara? Yeah, 100%. Roffel's better than Kamara. Tanaka's better than Kamara. Archie, phenomenal talent. Bogle's better at right back. Solomon is an upgrade on Somerville. Ramazani, unproven, is an upgrade on Somerville, in my opinion. The only one that isn't an upgrade is Aronson instead of Rutter. But what you get from Aronson, you don't need Rutter's qualities in there. And everyone on my channel knows I love Rutter, and I love a 10 that is a flair 10, a 10 that can spin on a sixpence, play a perfect ball, can shoot from outside box. But I'll tell you one thing, Rutter couldn't do that either. Rutter couldn't finish his dinner. A lot of similarities. He just had that star quality that Aronson hadn't got. He had more technical ability, did Rutter. But he ran around a lot, did Rutter. He lost the ball a lot in the final third, did Rutter. Similar to Aronson. Couldn't shoot, similar to Aronson. Couldn't press like Aronson, though. So I would say Rutter's the only one who I would say is still better than the option we've got now. But I think all the other options we've upgraded by some distance as well. Archie's the one but at right back, if you're just going off a right back, Bogle's a miles better right back. It gives us so much more than Archie did. So I think we've upgraded in all of them. I think the fact that he's the only one, Rutter, but because all the other ones have stepped up some. I mean, you got to look at that. Somerville's gone. Whether you think Ramazani is better or not, Solomon is. And having Solomon and Ramazani is better than having Somerville and Jaden Anthony. It's a massive upgrade, Michael. It's mint. It's such a good difference, mate. 100%. Going to Harrogate tomorrow afternoon, have a tea and cake. I bet he's meeting up with a couple of friends that you lot might recognise. Ooh, you're going to tell, mate? You're going to keep teasing us? Yeah. Michael, 100% this team beats the Bielsa Leeds team. Yeah, it does. I think so. I'd say Byram Edge is right back over left back. Yeah, you'd have to say something being right-footed, but he's so good on left as well, isn't he? He's played there that many times now. He's almost as good on left as he is on right.
Have we got an option to buy Solomon? No, we haven't, mate. No. Not at all. But if he feels it in here, if he gets the feels for it, Mark, who knows? We're gonna have first dibs on him, aren't we? We're gonna be if we choose, we need another winger, which I'm sure we're gonna need one when he goes at least. You'd imagine we're gonna be in there with a shout, aren't we? It just depends on who comes for a signature too, because we can't compete with people in Europe. We can't. But it depends if he gets it in fields. We're halfway there, aren't we? And it says Leeds don't seem to have any more issues breaking low block. No, we don't. We've seen that before. These last 3 games, it's been just there's been no low blocking side. It's been really nice to have a sustained period of time when all the teams are playing and giving it a go. Which we're getting to that time of season now, aren't we, Andy? Where some of these sides that may adopt a low block against us, Cardiff, teams like that, they need points now. So maybe some of them are going to play a little bit more football. Maybe, I don't know. But when we are facing a low block now, I feel like we know what to do now with it. It's just taken a while to get there. I feel like we know what we need to do in every single situation we face now. It's just took a while this season to get there. Now we're there. I feel like we've got the tools in his arsenal to win any kind of game on any given day. Rotor in the side would be immense. Yeah, Richard, massive fan, like I say. He gives the ball away a lot. He used to do my head in. But I paid me money just to watch Rotor some weeks. Loved him. What he could do when he was in that mood were phenomenal. And what I will say with that is I'd love Rotor in this side, but a lot of people will always say what they say about me. You can't take Brendan out. And I've been proven wrong with Brendan so many times this season. He's been worth his weight in gold. And I'll have to eat humble pie. It was his best performance in the Leeds shirt for me yesterday. I thought he was phenomenal. I didn't rate Rutter, but that's my opinion. That's fine. A lot of people, when I go to games, Rutter got the most bums off seats than any player, and also got told to F off more than any player. He riled up so many people, said he was shite, but got more bums on the edge of the seats and off the seats per game. It was a really strange one. But he gave the ball away so much, it was infuriating at times. But you also know he could make something happen like that. So I forgive him the bad moments because I know the quality moments were just so good. I didn't mind it. Might I just think where Leeds will be in the table, if Ilian had not thrown those points away at Sunderland and Hull, be at least 75, I would be breathing. Yeah, Michael, 100%. That's only giving us 6 points more. Some people are saying he's giving us 10, but what I will say with that is, mate, the Coventry one, I'm going to say he kept us in that. For me, he won us a couple of points there because for how good we were, there were two top, well, one world-class save and one really good save that kept us, 2-0 up and get 3 points in that. But we could have dropped 2 points. If Melly had an off day, like any of those days, we'll lose that. We'd lose 2 points then, draw 2-2. But yeah, for me, 6 points is probably a fair barometer of what would probably be better off if he'd have had better games in some of these big moments. Michael, he didn't throw the ball in Sunderland. It took a deflection off someone on the pitch. Yeah, he got games mixed up there. I didn't read that bit properly. Yeah, he's throwing away the points, not throwing the ball in the net. Yeah, he did throw away the points, 100%. Andy Rutter is improving. He's scoring for fun at Brighton. He could be a merch seller in the gift shop. Yeah, he's a talented player. I'm happy. I always knew he'd go and do well. Right, guys, I think I'm done. An hour and 28. You all need to go over and watch Joe now. Go, just for laugh. Everyone go over to Joe and tell him you've done a Imagine Not Being Leeds raid. That'd be funny. Like he needs any help from me. But yeah, absolutely buzzing. So I won't be live tomorrow, but I will be back. Please bring your asses back Friday night at 10 o'clock. For Imagine Not Being Leeds' Late Night Leeds with Sean and Adam. So it'll be a good one. We're going to touch on Millwall. We're obviously going to talk about this game, Watford, and we're going to look ahead to the massive clash on Monday. So please, what Joe's blocked me. Oh, Andy, what are you doing? What are you doing to my mate Joe? Night, Matthew, thanks you for the stream. You're welcome, my friend. Hold on. I'm 6 years old, Matty, so the current players go back. So 1985 to 95, that time, including the First Division champions, I was a supervisor and luckily around many players secure. Oh, that's class, mate. Nice one. You lucky bugger. Decent that to be mixing with all players, mate. That's class. Have a good day, mate. Have a good afternoon tea at Betty's tomorrow. Have a good one, pal. But yeah, make sure you come back for Late Night Leeds on Friday. You've got to get your score predictions in for Sunderland and see where you are in the league table with the results from this week. We're going to be opening the show talking about David Batty for the first 5 or 10 minutes. He won the poll on last Friday over the players that was in there. So we're going to be chatting about David Batty, which is always good to open a show talking about Bats. What a legend. And we'll have a poll in there for some other Leeds legends to get your favourite in. You know what it's like on there. It's a really good show. Please, please get involved and I'll see you then. So I'm doing some pre-records tomorrow that I'll probably send out on Friday morning. A bit of an opposition preview with my friend Wayne from Only Fools and SAFC. So keep your eyes peeled for that one. I don't know what I've done, says Andy. I don't know either. Message him on Instagram, maybe. A lot of people getting blocked here. I hope you'll be on mine anyway if you want blocked. Because are you two only here because you're blocked over there or what? What was you securing? Was it the tunnel so nobody pinched it? Mark, well done, bro. Make sure you're back Friday, Mark, to see where you are on that league table too. I'm annoyed because I thought I predicted 4-0 with James as a scorer, and I actually predicted 3-0, so I'm fuming. I thought I'd nailed it on this one, but no, I'm not fussed, mate. No, that's fine, Andy. Well, you're a regular on my show anyway, so I know you'll be here regardless. I'm much appreciated. I love your support. I'm 4th in the table. You were. I don't know where you are now, pal. I did walk on the grass many times. Right, guys. Have a good day on Thursday tomorrow. Take care. Thank you for being here with me, as always. And I'll catch you on the next one, guys. Thank you.